Well, I haven't changed this clock since daylight savings. It is an hour out, so it's 10 past 10 at night. I once had a subscriber who I've had for a long time tell me, when it cools down at night, then it's fine, just so long as you can keep cool during the day. 31.3. You know what, that's 88 degrees Fahrenheit at 10:10 PM. Yeah, that's how it rolls around here. It's just Australia. Guess where we are. This is a bed frame built into the floor of the cardboard house. There's a replacement door after the other one turned to shit, the original cardboard one. And there's the damn bugs. I'm going to go get myself some insect repellent and that cordless fan, and we're sleeping outside tonight. Okay, I'll prove it to you. There's a plastic water tank. Yeah, there's the back beam. More of the floor of the cardboard house. If you can't beat them, join them. Bigfoot. Oh, this is going to work out good. It's actually quite cool. I've got the, you can barely see it, the cordless fan sitting on the door, propped up by my shirt to give it a bit of a extra height, and it's working like a beauty. That battery hasn't been in there long at all, actually, so that should give me, oh shit, probably at least, some maths work out, yeah, at least 7 or 8 hours, I reckon, probably. So just might leave it on all night. There we go, that was last night. Actually slept quite alright, except you tend to wake up at about 5:30. The sky's actually quite dark. Because of the way this camera handles light. It goes into a dark situation, it tries and brightens up. If it goes into a bright situation, it tries and darkens, particularly if it's only bright in just one part of the image, as opposed to the whole thing. Yeah, apparently it's going to rain today, so I've got to move all this out. Here's somebody. I'll show you what she's done, what I done and what she done. Apparently, she likes dealing with the kittens her way, which is her kittens, so it's not to be unexpected. Now, I had the kittens out here, misting fan running, and she decided to grab a black one and take it under the house, and then went to grab a second black one, and it didn't like being picked up. So she sort of left it for a second, and I thought, well, stuff it, I'll put it back inside the house. Here I am trying to keep them cool, and, you know, if you're going to be like that, well, then I'll just take them inside the house. So I took the box, which you can't see with a crap because of this camera, that they sit in with a towel, inside the house, started up the fan again under the timer and kept trying to cool them, and it was blooming stupid because I'd just taken them back into a hot building to then try and cool them, and after she went and jumped in and tried to feed them and that, and after about it was only half an hour or so, I thought, this is ridiculous. It was lovely and cool out here and still stinking hot inside the house, so I took them out and I plonked them right there on the veranda, and then went ahead and got myself, well, I actually set up the bed first and then plonked them out here to let them be a bit cool, and I come the next morning and she's picked a whole lot of them out. And the whole lot of them are under the house, underneath the veranda, in the same spot where she put the black one initially, that I ended up grabbing hold of and putting back in the box with the rest of them in my bedroom. But, you know, it's probably a lot smarter, because she grew up underneath that house, along with Tabby Cat and the others, and it is cooler underneath that house. And the only real risk of having it under the veranda is because the dogs have sort of... The ground is a lot lower than that under the veranda, because the dogs my uncle had sort of dug underneath there. And it's only during winter it'll sometimes actually flood underneath the veranda. And that's the only time it's dangerous to have anything under there. But that's not going to happen. So it's probably safer having them under there, because it's a hell of a lot cooler underneath this house than it is in the house. Then I don't have to worry about the kittens being too hot. I don't have to play around with fans. It doesn't have to be something on my mind, because she's worked it out for herself according to what the cat thinks is best. So it's probably good in a way. And also I don't get woken up at 3 in the morning by meow, meow, meow beside me bed, because somebody's missing Mama, who's been running around outside for 5 or 6 hours at night because they're now thirsty and want to feed, and Mama's still busy chasing mice in the grass or whatever the hell she's doing. And yeah, there's been plenty of times where I'd get woken up by kittens wondering where the hell Mama was gone while Mama was still outside, and I don't know if I really need to be woken up by kittens much more. But anyway, that's taken care of that, because somebody made a decision on that. Isn't that right? It doesn't mean I won't get to see your kitties. It just means that I'll get to see them by week 3. Literally 2 days' time, it'll be 2 weeks since they were born, and in the 3rd week apparently they start walking around anyway, so they're likely to actually come out of the house, or come out with a little bit of encouragement anyway, within a week's time. But yeah, there we go. Hey, Puss, taking care of it all for me, eh? She does look very thin still and whatnot. I put out quite a bit of chicken meat. They don't eat, not chicken meat, pet mince. They don't eat as much pet mince as they do cat food. And I've heard this is the case with different brands of cat food. You get a real crap brand, you'll read on the side the recommendations that feed it 120 grams. You get a better brand that says only feed them 80 grams a day. And apparently the higher quality the cat food, the less they eat. I sort of just thought, oh, well, they probably eat the same amount of pet mince as they will cat food. Didn't really think it through that much. Come back with a bloody big blob that I didn't repackage and put in my parents' freezer. The initial blob I come back was in the same packaging it come in, and there's quite a lot. I fed her some of that every day. However much she wanted to eat before I put it back in the fridge, the solar fridge. And about the 3rd day I thought, well, you better have the whole lot of this, because I don't want it to be in here too long. Plonked the whole lot out. Her and Tabby Cat didn't get through the whole lot, and some maggots got into it, so I had to throw out a heap of that out of a food bowl yesterday. But the pure fact is that she's not going to eat as much meat as she would cat biscuits, because, well, pet mince is actually real meat, even if it is just chicken gizzards and gristle. But cat biscuits are bloody wheat flour. I mean, I've heard of people eating dog biscuits themselves, literally. And, you know, when you read the ingredients, they're based on flipping wheat. And maybe a bit of triticale or oats or whatever thrown in there, and, you know, that's not what cats are meant to eat. But when they do get what they're meant to eat, they end up eating a lot less because of the fact that it's, you know, proper meat and something they might eat in the wild, even if it isn't actually human grade by being chicken guts. But anyway, Pussy, you don't eat as much mince as you do cat biscuits, and that's only to be expected. And here we are, 6:49 the next morning. It's only dropped literally 2 degrees. So these nights just sort of continue on with the same temps and stuff like that, and it's just the way it goes. Well, I can feel the temperature rising already, and it's only 7:10 in the morning. Anyway, I forgot to show you guys this the other day. Yep, first tomato. With a bit of luck we'll get a few more. They're the Black Russian tomatoes. They ain't terribly big. They're apparently only about 2 inches diameter or something like that. But they're the acid-free ones. And since I moved the pots, the porcelain seems to be firing up quite well. It just sort of come up of its own accord. In all this hot weather, these, I thought I almost lost them. I know I've said this before, but I thought I almost lost these during winter, and I was ready just to chuck out the remaining stumpy little stubs, but they're all firing up very well in this heat. And I mean, the tomatoes will, you know, sort of look a bit limp sometimes in the heat, and you got to water them, and these things, not a problem. It's lemon-scented verbena, and yeah. Don't like the cold, don't even like sitting on the veranda during winter because it's still too cold, but get fantastic heat and dryness, and they just fire up like there's not a problem in the world. But got a few leaves from some of these in an envelope inside. Very good making tea out of them. I love chucking them in and making a tea out of the leaves. And if you've done it, you'll see what I mean. There was a supermarket that, I don't know why exactly, but it got demolished, and then I think they turned around and rebuilt it. And they had this huge concrete pot, I mean absolutely huge, probably 5 foot tall pot in the car park of this place, and that had a huge lemon-scented verbena, and my uncle used to go and pick, well, the leaves off the thing, like he'd just go and snap off a whole twig. And yeah, he used to do that a bit, and then when they demolished the supermarket and rebuilt it, that somehow ended up in the friggin' landfill. That got chucked out, and all the garden got tore out that was there, and yeah, a bit disappointing because it was a good source of getting these without having to wait for it to grow, and nobody else even recognised what it was, and nobody else would ever pick it. And it was quite a large flame, and, you know, it was turned into a tree, basically, but, yeah.